In addition to shaking off old ideas about how much sleep you need, it's important to learn how your body's sleep system works biologically. People, like many animals, have powerful internal clocks that affect our behavior and bodily functioning. These clocks work in roughly 24-hour periods and produce 24-hour cycles in different systems throughout the body, like digestion, body temperature, stress hormones, and our sleep and wake patterns. When all of these clocks work together as they should, or synchronize, our bodies operate properly. But when the clocks get out of sync, we may encounter problems with our physical health or even our mood. For example, our bodies may release stress hormones at the wrong time when we shouldn't be stressed, or release rest and relax hormones when we need to be focused on something. When we get too little sleep or sleep during times when our bodies aren't meant to sleep, we disrupt our body's natural hormone balance and lose out on an opportunity for the body to repair and restore itself. So let's take a look at what the sleep and wake cycle looks like. Sleep and body temperature are closely intertwined. For example, if we record a person's body temperature for several days in a row, we would see a consistent up and down pattern or a rhythm and temperature across each 24-hour day. As you can see on the graph here, the temperature's lowest point is around 3 or 4 a.m. at night, and it rises throughout the morning and early afternoon, hitting its peak around 3 or 4 p.m. Often, this rise in body temperature would be associated with the feeling of growing sleepiness as we move towards our evenings. Once again, the temperature begins to fall until it hits its low point in the early morning hours. In most people, we see this close relationship between the temperature cycle and our sleep and wake patterns. Even if a person is placed in somewhere dark like a cave, away from daylight, external clocks, and other time of day indicators, this person would continue to show a temperature rhythm and a sleep-wake pattern that cycles about every 24 hours. The temperature cycle and the relationship between the body's thermostat and sleep can be seen below, as mentioned before. Feel free to reference this chart or ask any questions that you may have. In our day-to-day lives, the body's thermostat is just one piece of the puzzle that influences our sleep. Work schedules, meal times, and other activities work together with our internal body clocks to help us keep a stable sleep-wake pattern. Sometimes, if we aren't careful, we can also let these external cues, like meal times, throw our sleep pattern off, which we'll discuss next. For example, significant changes in our sleep and wake schedule can interfere with our ability to sleep normally. You may have heard this called jet lagged. For example, if a man who lives in New York flies to LA, that 3-hour difference on the clock will put his desired sleep-wake schedule in the new time zone at odds with his body clock that's used to his old time zone. So he may feel sleepy at 6 p.m. in California because it's 9 p.m. in Boston or New York, but he won't be able to sleep for a few more hours. This traveler will become sleepy 3 hours earlier than he wishes and often wake up 3 hours before he prefers on the initial days of his trip. Fortunately, our bodies are extremely persistent and resilient, and with repeated exposure to the light-dark pattern in the new time zone, his body clock will get reset and will allow the traveler to get in sync with the new time zone. However, the traveler will likely again experience temporary problems with sleep and fatigue in the daytime when he first returns to New York. This is an example of how our external activities could interfere with our natural sleep and wake cycle.